You're listening to Cooperative Multiplayer. The official podcast of the 4-1 Game Zone.
Hello and welcome to another Cooperative Multiplayer Live. This is the official 4-1 Game Zone podcast, and I am your host, Sean Garmer. And yes, I know, it's been a little while, but we are back, and hopefully, well, we don't have any holidays for like a month, so hopefully that doesn't derail us again. And with me today, Mr. Mark Morrison.
Howdy.
How are you doing today?
I'm alright. How about you?
Doing alright. So, how was the holiday? How was your Thanksgiving and all that?
Man, it was boring. I just went on to Best Buy.
Hey, Best Buy's a good place to go. Did you get anything for Black Friday?
I bought everything online, pretty much. Because I showed up to Best Buy, like, the day before. I showed up, they had Black Friday sales, but they only were on Friday, so I showed up a day early. So that annoyed me.
Oh, okay. So you thought that they had a Thanksgiving Day sale too?
No, they did, but, they just couldn't, like, they had two different deals, so.
Oh, okay.
Like, great. I wasted an hour and a half in line waiting for nothing.
Did they start them at, like, midnight on Black Friday, or how did that work?
I think 8 a.m. is when they did it.
Okay.
But I bought a lot of games on, like, for the PS4. I bought God of War 3 HD from Amazon because it was $15. I bought Until Dawn because it was $20. I bought Arkham Knight, the game and the collection, or the season pass, for $17 from Amazon. It was awesome.
Wow.
I bought the Uncharted collection for PS4, and I finally bought Assassin's Creed Unity for PS4.
The game everybody is waiting for you to buy.
Well, I already have it on Steam, but I'm
Right.
curious to try it like on a console that can presumably play it a little better than my computer did, because, I played it and beat it, but it wasn't exactly a great experience. Kind of like Arkham Knight, my computer could run it, but I was kind of running it at, like, half speed.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. You told me you couldn't run it at the max settings or whatever, because that's when it would do all the screwing up like everybody else's did.
Yeah.
So,
go on.
Yeah, so did you get to play any of those games that you bought, or?
I played a little Uncharted. I'm just making my way through the first one so far. I'm trying to collect every trophy.
Have they fixed the stuff where you had to use the motion controls and all that, or is that still in there?
I don't think it's in there. I vaguely remember some of that stuff. I don't remember it too well, but I haven't had to use any motion controls at all so far. I'm like chapter 3 or 4.
Yeah, they probably took it out then.
Yeah.
Smart.
Presumably the same for God of War 3. I just played Arkham Knight. Like, it's fine enough, or, I'm about halfway through that again. And it's, still fine, or it's better. It's also nice remembering where everything is, so I can just kind of bypass it.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier to... Yeah, you'll probably hear my dog or daughter at some point during this, because she's doesn't know how to be quiet. And the dog likes to go in and out of the room, and my room has hardwood floor in it, and the rest of the house is carpet.
That's why I just shut the door. I shut the door on my cat. That's why it took me a minute to respond to you. Like, I had to kick the cat out.
Well, if I kick the dog out, he just scratches on the door.
Yeah, my cat used to do that, and then I eventually broke him of that habit. Because he used to do it in the morning. He used to make me up at 7 a.m. to feed him. I'm like, I'm not going to feed you at 7. Get the hell out of here. And then he like tried to do it once, and I like was waiting for him. So when he tried to scratch, and I opened the door on him real quick and surprised the hell out of him.
Wait, so you like slammed it back in his face or something?
Yeah.
Oh wow. I've like kicked the door at him. It doesn't stop. I might have to do that. Who knows? Maybe he'll not do that again.
And I bought like a printer and a USB flash drive and like a little SD card for my camera and a bunch of other crappy stuff from Best Buy.
Hey, you can always use more flash drives and more SD cards for things.
Yeah.
So.
I bought a 120 gigabyte flash drive for $20.
Eh, not bad.
That'll be my new Wii hard drive solution for the time being.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That used the flash drive. Yeah, I got to think about that too if I'm really gonna get a Wii U or not.
No, I meant Wii, the original system.
Well, like, yeah, I know the Wii did, but the Wii U also does it, right? Or you have to, if you want extra memory, you have to use the SD card.
Yeah. Well, no, you have to use it like an external drive, but my Wii is like soft modded, so I'm just gonna put games on it to load off of it.
Oh, nice.
Like Smash Brothers, because my Wii does not play Smash Brothers.
Oh, that's right. You told me it has some issue with playing some of the game, like it doesn't play blue discs or something.
It doesn't play dual layer discs.
Okay, yeah.
There's only like 10 or 15 dual layer discs for the Wii, but I have 2 of them, and it didn't play either one, so that kind of tells me something.
Gotta love it when your system doesn't do what you want it to.
Like, some PS2s did that too. Like, that was kind of a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I remember when they wouldn't play they did not play the blue disc or something like that. Yeah, it was always really, really annoying on that front.
Yep.
Anything else?
I've been playing a few games. That's about it.
What have you been playing then?
Finished my review of StarCraft 2, Legacy of the Void. That'll be up maybe tonight, maybe probably tomorrow because I'm lazy. The Long Dark on PC. It's like the survival game in the wilderness. And I want to like it, but it's an alpha. Like every other survival.
I thought you did like it.
I like the idea of it, but it's just things aren't explained at all. Like, so it's an alpha. It'll probably be always an alpha because those games always are. It's not like you see any of them like coming out for reals. And I can't even figure out how to make a damn fire in the game.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Why you wouldn't go ahead and why not explain things? That doesn't make any
Well, that's probably presumably coming later, and so it's like, well, I mean, that doesn't help me now. But I just like the idea of like being trapped in like the wilderness or like a mountain and figuring out how to survive. But every one of those games like is not finished at all. Like Rust or Ark Survival Evolved. I bought that on Steam and it barely runs on my computer.
Why do they not finish them? That doesn't make sense.
Because probably just lazy, or their ambitions probably outweigh their execution.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense then.
Yeah. Like
well,
I tried playing Ark and it was like I played it for like 20 minutes and I punched a dinosaur in the face and then it killed me and I was like, all right, I'm done.
Well, you aren't really supposed to, try to punch dinosaurs in the face.
Yeah, but I couldn't figure out what else to do. Like, so that's all I had.
Fair enough.
And I also, I played StarCraft, played a little of Long Dark, played a lot of Arkham, and now that StarCraft done, I can finally play Fallout 4 soon. And
wow, at least you have a goal to play Fallout finally.
And the last game I played and bought and finished was Regency Solitaire.
How is that any different than regular Solitaire?
well, it has a story first off. Like it's like a Victorian love story. So you're going through
What? And you
stages.
play solitaire?
Yeah, it's great. And it's not like traditional solitaire. It's like golf solitaire. So cards are in different format or different like shapes or formations. So like you'll have a king in the pile or like on the field, and you have to match like an ace to it or a queen. It doesn't matter suits or colors or anything. You just have to match like the same, like the next rank or previous rank. You know,
Okay.
solitaire. Uh, and you also have power ups and wild cards. You know, it's fun. Played it for like 8 hours. I finished it. I didn't lose. I didn't. It was about I don't know, probably about 150 stages. I got a perfect on each single one.
Wow. How did? Yeah. So there like a formula to how to play, or?
Not, I mean, you can keep combos going, and that increases. You also can buy like power ups, and like you have a room in your manor, and you can buy upgrades to it, and the upgrades translate to like you can get like one of the power ups is like a Cupid's arrow, so it just lets you shoot off a few cards on the field, or one is like it like destroys a few random cards in the field, but also you can get cards that just give you more wild cards, or like let you see what card is coming like in the next draw and things like that.
Okay, fair enough. I'm
It's
just.
it's good.
How much is Regency Solitaire?
Uh, right now it's I think $10.
It's
Yeah,
not
it's
too
ten
bad.
bucks. I think I bought it for like 6 or 7. And it's just a relaxing game. Like that's what I kind of enjoyed it for.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe,
You
maybe one
you
of
so-
these.
you sound dismissive, but you're also the person that plays Pokemon nonstop.
Hey, I don't play it nonstop. I played way more of the other games that I had than.
And let's be fair, Solitaire is a lot better than Pokemon.
I don't know about all that. I mean, at least not the regular version, anyway.
No, I mean this is a lot more, I guess, like tactical. Like you could try to keep your combo going to get more gold to spend on like upgrades and things like that.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I'll show it to you or I'll show you, link you to the video or a video, and you'll be like, I gotta get this game. And it may even run on your computer.
Yeah, it might even. That'd be a surprise if it did run it. But yeah, so I did. I knew it would happen one of these days. To sit there and go, okay, well, I know I'm getting Christmas money, so I have this GameStop credit card. Just go ahead and use it. And I was sitting there thinking of stuff to buy, and then all of a sudden I kept seeing all these offers that I had like stored up that I hadn't used in my GameStop like little power up thing.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh well, I'll just get this and get that. And they won't put Fallout 3 on the 360 deals anymore. They used to have it out there for like $5 without the DLC. And so I was like, well, the only way I'm gonna be able to get it is if I roll for 360 anyway, is to get it from a GameStop. So I went and got that for free because I had a $15 gift certificate, and then it helped pay for part of Project X Zone, which was like $10, and then I still had a buy two get one free. So I got Halo 5 and the Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon, the new one, and then what else? And the Persona Q, which I had to sit there and like keep telling the lady like I do not want the new one that costs like a ridiculous $60. I'm not paying $60 for a 3DS game. Uh, and so she finally found the one that did not have the limited edition soundtrack thing or whatever it was, and it was like $30 instead.
Hmm.
So finally, it was able to get that. And I mean, I got to play the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon is like a really it's funny to have like two of the same game, like be able to play it next to each other and see the total difference between one is more for beginners of dungeon crawlers and one is more for the one that knows something about dungeon crawlers. Like Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon is it's a lot easier than some of the other ones, or not easier. It's a lot harder than some of the other ones. Like the first ones that they made for like the DS and all that, those were really easy. You never died. It was about just getting all your little Pokemon pals or whatever. This one has a story, and they give you like they actually like ask you a bunch of questions when you start the game, and then it tries to pick a Pokemon for you, but then you have like the whole carousel of the starter Pokemons that have been around since the beginning, and also Pikachu. And then you get to pick your starter, which is you, because it's basically you became a Pokemon, and then your partner that's going to be there eventually. I hadn't gotten there for me yet. You meet the partner, but at least in the part where I'm at, I'm still like by myself doing things, and it's a bit like it's you could die actually in like the beginning stages if you don't pay attention. Like if you just walk around and you don't actually try to store back your HP and whatever, you could actually wind up dying because the Pokemon come in and they're a little bit more powerful than you are. And there's a part, and especially if you're one of those people like I do, where I try to actually explore the whole map. I don't just find the stairs and then go down the stairs. I wound up having to like go backwards to avoid Pokemon, so my SP would go back because they would probably wind up killing me if I kept trying to battle them constantly. But other than that, I mean, it's the difference between that and like say Persona Q, where you walk in and the whole portion of that map just shows up, whereas in Persona Q, it's like every single step that you take, it only shows that step. It does not show you the whole map until you actually physically step on it, and then you're also having to go with the stylist and actually make the map yourself. So it's it's actually pretty cool to see the differences there. Plus, it's like the first time I've actually really sat there and played a Persona game, really, like for more than a couple of hours, and I wound up actually really liking it. So I would suggest if you like dungeon crawling games like Etrian Odyssey and stuff like that, or just Persona itself, really, and you have a 3DS, that's one of those games I think you should definitely check out because there's a lot of minutia in there, but it's still a really good RPG and it has a good story. The soundtrack's good, all that stuff. I'm still in the first like dungeon, going through the first time around. I think I made it to like level 2 because again I'm trying to get to, because they actually they reward you unlike the Pokemon game. If you 100% the map, you get these good items or whatever at the end. And the cool thing is if you go to the chest, it'll show you the little areas of the map that you didn't complete, so you can just go back on your little mini map and look at it and then go back and do it. And you have the choice picking between the Persona 3 characters or the Persona 4 characters. And now I'm like, oh man, now I have to go back and actually play Persona 3 and 4 because I have no history with these characters at all other than just what I've seen of them in this game. So, and they have voice acting and stuff, which is actually kind of cool for a 3DS game. Not a lot of 3DS games have voice acting, so there's that as well. Project X Zone is really cool. If you like any of the Capcom characters at all, or the SNK characters, I'm still technically in the prologue because there's like about 6 prologue missions that I've gone through now, and it's basically just showing you all the characters that are in the game. Like you'll go, like the last level I was in that it took me about 20 minutes to complete was all these zombies show up and you're on this boat and you go from having Chun-Li and Nikaharu or something, and then the guy from Frank West shows up. Jill and Chris from Resident Evil show up, and uh, I think one of the guys from like one of the Commando games shows up or something, and you can use them as like support characters. It's like a fighting game and a strategy game all together, and it's for that cheap, it's really cool. Just there's another there's another one where it's like the guy from Ghosts and Goblins shows up.
Arthur.
Yeah, Arthur, and then the Valkyrie, and Dante from Devil May Cry, and Dimitri from I forgot what game it is. He's a vampire, and like they all show up to kill these things that are just in a sandy desert somewhere, because they all basically get stuck in this rift, and that's how they all wind up in these levels. And they somehow all know each other because they're all from the same. Some of them, they have like the Valkyrie and Arthur apparently know each other from some game, but like Dante somehow knows the Valkyrie, and just because they're all Capcom characters, and it's just I'm just like, man, you're just trying to whore out everyone all you can, Capcom. But yeah, I mean, Halo is Halo. I only went through the first level. The cool thing is the just in the first level you notice the differences just in the aliens, all the weapons. The alien weapons are like so much cooler now than they ever were. I actually wanted to use more of the alien weapons than the actual. I was using the first level you used Locke and all the new Spartans or whatever. The second level you use Master Chief. So it's more like Halo 2 where you keep switching off between Locke and Master Chief. And I started part of the Master Chief level and I had to go to bed. So, but yeah, so lots of games that I got to play, and again, you can go find those somewhere. I recommend checking them all out, certainly. But let's get into this little thing called the PlayStation Experience. It's happening on Saturday and Sunday. Last year that's where they debuted the Street Fighter V. They showed off some stuff for Uncharted and quite a few other things that I remember that people making a big fuss about PlayStation Experience. And one of the things that we know that Sony Santa Monica is making a God of War game, and they just announced. I don't know if you saw it. Did you see that indie game that they? Well, yeah, that like digital game that they just announced. They've been teasing for like a couple days, called Bound.
Yeah,
looks pretty cool. Looks like a ballerina cat or something like that that's going around, but she has some kind of weapon or something. Just interesting, certainly. Not what I would expect. It's like a 3D platformer, supposedly, that has like a mature story, according to them. It's a not game, which is also a game.
So does that mean it'll feature like a threesome sequence with two women?
I don't think we're quite there yet. But, not with that one. At least, with God of War, I guess it's more of a normal thing for that to happen. I don't know back then. But yeah, it has this really, really cool art style, which is what kind of drew me to... It's made by somebody. It's fashioned off some kind of dancer, Maria Udad, and has some, music that goes along with that and whatever. So I'm sure we'll get some info about that. Apparently Media Molecule is going to be on the Sony VR panel that's going to be there. They made a big deal about this Sony VR panel, so I assume we're going to get... Are you interested at all in what they might show for this VR?
I guess maybe, but I'd still probably be more interested in like the Oculus Rift, just because it's going to be not I don't want to say censored, but not as restricted as like the VR thing is going to be.
Fair enough.
Like,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean, go ahead. Sorry.
well, I was just going to say, like, the Sony one, like, you'll have to go to, like, Sony, or it'll have to be, you know, you can't just do something, like, wild with it like you can, like, with the Oculus Rift. Like, that VR arcade thing. You can never do that in, like, the PlayStation system.
Right. Yeah, you'd have to have the PS4, and not only that, who knows what it's going to cost if you bundle it with the PS4. That's another thing. I mean, do you think they'll announce a price point?
If they do, it'll be expensive. It'll probably be at least $200, maybe $300.
I was thinking in the 300 to 400 range. I just
Yeah.
can't imagine they're going to take that big of a loss of 200 on it.
And also, the problem is, I mean, name a peripheral that has, like, done well for a system.
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
even Amazon's apparently getting into it with their own version of the Luma Room.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I don't know where that's going to go. We already saw how their deal with making games went. That came and went in a hurry. When
Yeah.
nobody was making really good games for it. I mean, I'm interested because obviously it could be the new. It's the new gimmick, obviously. I mean, it's not a new gimmick. They've had it before. It was still in black and white then with the Virtual Boy and a few other things that they made.
Black and red now, let's be fair.
Or black and red.
I created two of those things.
I played with one for, I think I didn't have it. It was my uncle's, and I think all he had was Mario Tennis, and I tried to play that for like an hour, and my eyes were just wanting to kill me.
Like, to be fair, the games for that thing actually weren't that bad, but
yeah, exactly.
with the technology, it's like nope.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree with you. They weren't that bad. It's just being able to play with them, and that's the thing too. Like, when you're at home, you don't have people, because that's the thing. When you go to these events, you have someone strapping it on for you that knows exactly the way it's supposed to be put on. They know what you're going to be experiencing. They're going to tell you things. Like, when you're at home and you're doing this all by yourself, how are you going to keep yourself? That's where you can get into the, making yourself nauseated and all that kind of stuff. That's going to make the experience difficult for somebody. And all it takes is a couple people saying, "Oh, this thing made me throw up," and you're going to get a bunch of people like, "Okay, well, I'm not getting that." I still think it's hard to like show off. Like, how do you show that thing off without you physically being there seeing it? Or experiencing it yourself. You think it's gonna be kind of like the Wii, where you have to see somebody doing it in order for somebody to just say, "Okay, well, we're getting this," or whatever. It's not something you can watch a video of and go, "Okay, I want that."
I mean, maybe, but there's also, I think VR is a lot more in the pop culture, for people to just kind of get it. But I just think the price point is going to be too much for like most people.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's already enough just to buy imagine a bundle with that thing and it costs $700. I mean, you tell somebody something costs $700, that's, you're throwing out a lot of people that are not going to be buying it, affording it, or anything of that nature.
Yeah.
But, moving on to, they announced about like 50 games that are going to be of this thing. And a lot of them are games that have already been out, but some of them, Far Cry Primal is apparently going to be playable. Did you see this list of stuff that's going to be
I just saw like Amplitude, like as always, because
are you excited to play that, Jen? Well, you'll get it here in a few weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, supposedly.
Yeah, that's what they say. December 23rd, I think, is what they said.
Yeah.
So everybody else will get it January 5th. I'm excited. I love the Amplitude. So, yeah, you'll get to play
Can't wait to play
Amplitude.
that
Yep.
hot new game, Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed Syndicate. That that'll be around. You can play that distance game that Mark likes to talk about. Um, you can play For Honor, Firewatch. All that's gonna be there. That Hateful Boyfriend. That everybody's dying to play. Just Cause 3. That Lego Marvel Avengers game. There's just
all the new and exciting games.
yeah, the Mega Man Legacy Collection. That thing is. I guess are they? Oh yeah, that remake of Ratchet and Clank that they're making that I completely forgot about.
I'm actually
That
kind of interested in that one. Like, I want to play that.
I don't think I've ever played any of the Ratchet and Clanks. So
I've only played that one, like way back for like the PS2. I just want to play it because they don't make games like that anymore. Like, they don't make like kind of cutesy 3D platformers.
yeah, and that's why I've heard a lot of people saying that they want to see Crash Bandicoot come back.
I mean,
And that's apparently one of like the things that could happen at the
I,
PSX.
I guess maybe, but the difference between Ratchet and Clank and like Crash was Ratchet and Clank. The names got stupider, but the game still remained pretty decent. Like, the last few Crash Bandicoot games were just not good.
Agreed. The Crash Racer wasn't too bad, but
Yeah, that was good, and the last good one, like last good Crash game, was like Crash Bandicoot 3, Warped, I think.
yeah, they really should have stopped at 3. Then they made that, what was it, like original Xbox one?
Like Twin Sanity, I think. That
Yeah,
was
and
one of them.
it was
I think
not good.
also the problem with Crash Bandicoot compared to like at least Ratchet and Clank is there's not much character there,
Hmm.
or like not like personality, and also like the things they had to do for that game back in the day to make it work, like technologically, I don't think would fly too well anymore. Like the force perspective or like the running towards the camera stuff. It's like they did that for like technological reason, not because it was fun, but because they needed to.
Right. It still was kind of some of the stuff they can't figure out how to do with Sonic, too, because he kind of has to do the whole running like, into the camera and all that, too.
Yeah, let's make a new Sly Cooper game.
Yeah, exactly. One of the cool, I mean, I've seen trailers for this, and like it's made by Drinkbox, the people that make, damn it, why can't I think of it right now? The Super Turbo Championship, whatever.
Guacamelee?
Yeah, Guacamelee. Uh, it has a very similar art style, and it's for the Vita, but you're basically like killing things. Basically, it's the name of the game. You chop out the head to like get their powers and wear it, and then fight other enemies with it. That's the basis of it, but
So it's like Mega Man?
I guess a different kind of Mega Man. But yeah, there's that, and quite a few other things. Apparently, the Uncharted 4 multiplayer and all that will be there too. So, we're gonna get more Uncharted stuff. You think they're gonna show another trailer? You think they have a demo, or because we've seen a lot of Uncharted.
Let's show that same trailer, but this time it won't have a bug in it.
Trailer doesn't have a bug in it. Well, that's a good thing. Do you think that they show I mean, last year it was Street Fighter 5. You think this year they show the God of War for PS4?
Maybe, but I don't think, like... I mean, God of War 3 did okay, but I think people are kind of burned out on that series.
No, but Sony Santa Monica is making it, though.
Yeah, but that's all they do.
I mean...
It's not like their other games do well. It's not like didn't they do Fat Princess, or...
I think that was somebody else that does it, but...
I can look it up, but, I mean...
I'd love for them to, like, why does it have to be the same mythology? Like, why can't it be... I know you don't want to use Thor, probably, but, like, you can use, I don't know, some other mythology and It doesn't have to be Kratos, you know. It can be a female. It can be anything, you know, just something. I think as long as it's not Kratos, it automatically is just something new. You know, if it's Kratos again with another story of how he's gonna beat Ares, and even though I thought 3 pretty much kind of, you know, it sewed it up pretty well.
It's because he's angry.
I mean, I just don't know what else you can do with that series other than, oh, you want to make it come out because you want something pretty for the PS4. Just
more time travel.
No, don't need that. Just don't need that at all. But you know, whatever floats their boat. I'm sure we'll get something else from The Last Guardian. We haven't seen that in a while since E3. Or you think they're?
I doubt it,
make it
because we're not there. I don't like. They should have shown that at TGS because it's kind of the market for it.
Right.
Like there are some nut jobs over here that want The Last Guardian, but that's going to be a much bigger, like Japanese game than American for sure.
Well, people like the Ico and Shadow of Colossus over here, so.
Yeah, but they also didn't take 10 years to make.
Agreed. But I'm pretty sure that they're still going to want it, you know. Do you think we see anything from Final Fantasy at all?
Maybe a title screen, and that's it. I don't think they've worked on Final Fantasy at all.
Well, I'm not talking about 7. Like, there's a report out now that apparently they can play the game from start to finish for Final Fantasy 15, and half the game's already done. Like, actually done.
And well, they may show some Final Fantasy 15. That's about it. They're going to show Kingdom Hearts at all, and Final Fantasy 7 is out of the question.
What about the arcade?
Oh, that Dissidia thing.
Yeah.
I doubt it because I heard the reviews weren't great for it so far, and it was buggy as hell.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of is either the Final Fantasy 15, or maybe that Distant Worlds Final Fantasy game or something.
No.
It won't be 7.
No, it'll be 7. It'll be that port job at 7 that they're doing though.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's what they'll do. They'll do it's releasing today. The port of Final Fantasy 7.
Yep,
and then everybody will be like, "Oh, that's not the one we want." It's just. And it'd be like, why? You know, but the dumb thing is, you know, people are gonna buy that.
Yeah, my friend Tim will buy it because he's an idiot and he buys Final Fantasy 7 and everything. It's like, how many copies of that game can you own?
I technically don't have any copies of it anymore, so I might think about it.
I mean, I got it on Steam, and that's it. That's
yeah,
really all
I used to have the original PlayStation version, but that's it. Like.
Yeah. I mean, you only need one copy of that game. And you don't need to buy it on Android or iOS. You need to buy it on a console. Like, if you want to buy the PS3 version or Xbox... Did it come to Xbox One? Or Xbox 360? No, it didn't.
Well, no. That's always been a PlayStation thing.
Yeah, if you just want to buy it there, or the PC, that's fine. You don't need to buy it on every console it ever comes to.
Yeah, buy it on PS3, buy it on PS2, and...
The Vita.
Every other thing it comes out on, which is crazy, but you know how people are. What else can they? Well, we know we're getting a new with the Game Awards. You know they're going to announce a new Mortal Kombat fighter. Do you think they might do some Street Fighter?
It'll be John Cena.
Oh my god.
They're finally going to bring that Immortals game out to consoles this year, so they're priming things early.
Man, I would buy that Immortals game if it came to consoles. That game's actually really good.
I think a lot of people would, and that's why WWE doesn't want to do it.
That's what's so dumb, though. They have these these wrestlers that they love to promote as characters, yet they don't take the opportunity to make different games with them. It's just so dumb, except unless it's on a phone. Like,
see, the problem with that thinking though is they don't want people to think like what characters are in the WWE right now. There's not that many. Like back in the day, you had like the Undertaker or Yokozuna or Mr. Perfect, and now we have this guy's pale and orange with orange hair, and like what is his personality? He occasionally speaks Irish, and that's about it. And that's 95% of their roster right now. Like they don't have any Persona characters.
Man.
And the thing is like if you played that Immortals game, like they did stuff cool. Like they had like The Rock, like a literal rock monster, or they had I think Sheamus is like an antler man, and it's like I want him to be like that in real life.
Like Brock was like a demon for real or something, Just...
And like I think Paige was like a sorceress or something. It's like, yeah, have her do that in real life. I don't want her to come out in stupid like fishnets and that's all she can do. It's like no, make her do magic spells. Make her be like how Bray Wyatt should have been.
Oh man, that's a story for another day. Do you think we'll get any? I mean, Sony barely talked about it, and we actually haven't been able to. I don't think we've actually talked about it. Sony announcing that there's going to be PS2 emulation for the PS4.
That's really cool. I hope we did talk about it like last week, I think, or the last time we did it. I hope it says discs. I don't want to have to buy those games again for the third time because I already bought a few games on the PS3.
Yep.
You need to just put a disc in and say, all right, this is the game. Here you go.
I completely agree with you. I mean, it would suck because now. I mean, that's the thing that those companies are not going to start producing those discs again. So eBay and GameStop and all those places are going to go crazy with people wanting to buy the discs. But it's also on those companies if they want to make those games available digitally, so that all you have to do is buy it if you don't have the disc.
I think a happy medium would be to go sell the game for like $10 online or on PSN. But if you have the disc and you put it in your system, buy it for half off or 75% off.
Agreed.
So you have a digital copy. But that'd be how I do it. But also the problem with that though is like a lot of those developers and publishers are gone. So what are you going to do?
Right. Yeah. Like how are you going to get? I mean, Sony could probably get in contact with someone. If somebody really wanted the game that bad, but.
Yeah, I just want it to be like a just a PlayStation emulator you download and say it runs any disc, or there are a few games that won't work, but it'll run 98% of them. So here you go.
Yeah, I mean, I just want them. They should outline how it's going to work, and PlayStation conferences, PSX or PlayStation Experience, whatever is the time to do it. I think people are going to want to know about that kind of stuff. If you're making a big deal to announce it, to say we are going to support that, I think that's going to be one of those things that will announce some of the games you're going to put out there first. I'm assuming all the Sony games will work just like, Microsoft did with all their first party games are going to work or whatever, but that should be interesting.
Yeah.
You think No Man's Sky winds up getting VR?
Maybe. I don't know. Like, depends how well it's suited for it, I guess.
I think it. I mean, it seems like a game that could work with it. If there's a game out there that's got some press, that's not a huge AAA title, whatever, that they'd have to do too much to it, I think that's definitely a game they could they could work with it.
Yeah.
It would be interesting. I'd like to see it in that way because it's not doing a whole lot for me just in the way I've seen it. I know, Daniel loves that thing, and I know you're interested in it. So, I mean, there's other people obviously interested in that game. They did confirm that Resident Evil 2 is a full remake. Don't know if that's going to be shown at all.
I doubt it. But it's good.
Yeah, hopefully it's good. Yeah.
Because I think it'll just be like that Resident Evil 1 GameCube remake.
Do you think we see anything of Shenmue 3?
Probably. It'll just be like, here's a GoFundMe page if you want to donate more.
Somehow I would not be surprised at all.
You still need money.
Would not be surprised at all. You think anything for the Vita at all after they announced that they're still making some games for it, or?
No, they think the Vita's done. And it is.
They did say they're still making some games for it, just...
Yeah, but they'll be digital games if, or like bite-sized things. They won't be like another Uncharted or another God of War or anything good.
Well, we are about 4 hours away from the Game Awards at this point. We kind of made predictions on one of the other podcasts. I mean, you think they did say there's going to be 10 reveals on this deal? My issue with it is I hope to God it's not 3 hours.
It'll be 4.
Oh Lord, yeah. I mean, apparently, Reggie's going to be there for representing Nintendo. Phil Spencer for Xbox. Mark Hamill's going to be there representing Star Wars, and Jeff Keighley already said that apparently Jay Raymond's going to be there. So maybe we get something on whatever that EA game is. It's supposed to be like their Assassin's Creed. Sean Lanning, Conan O'Brien. We're gonna see some more stuff on Quantum Break and Far Cry Primal. I already talked about the Mortal Kombat 10. We'll get an Oculus thing, and Shaq Fu 2 apparently from Shaq, because that's
hopefully get another rap CD if you buy that one.
Man, you know what? That's going back to some years with Shaq rapping.
You can finally get the Kazam 2 screenplay we've all wanted.
Right, yeah, that's exactly what we wanted, was Kazam 2. I can't believe people wanted another Shaq Fu game. Just crazy to me. At all, but
people are dumb and they like dumb things.
That first game was bad. I mean, why? Well, if this game comes out and it's just as bad, I guess people can't complain. That's what they want.
Because it's a joke. That's why. It's like snakes on a plane.
Yeah. Oh man, I fell right in that snakes on the plane thing. I don't know why I loved it so much, but I saw it in the theater. I had the movie, all that. So yeah, I mean, Just Cause 3, one of the 2 games that came out on Tuesday, has issues. What's new?
Yep.
Apparently not so much on PC, but the consoles got hit pretty hard. Well, they got hit with frame rate issues. They got hit with, I think it's, hold on. Yeah, it's mainly in really bad load times.
I think it's related to the server issues also. Like, it's trying to hit a server, like with Metal Gear Solid 5, and it's just getting slammed continuously.
What, they're in the same server?
Well, no, but if people keep dialing up to the server and, millions of people or hundreds of thousands of people at the same time, that creates a problem.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true. I, you know, that's just one of the, I mean, when I had 3 or 4 of you answer it on 4PC, like, well, that's just the way the games are right now. And that makes me sad. That we basically we should just expect that there's going to be launch problems with the game at this point. I mean,
Yeah.
you can kind of count on your hand the big AAA games that came out without problems. That's what's even worse. No, it really shouldn't be that way. Just really shouldn't. I don't know. We might. What are you doing on? I mean, well, I don't know if I'm working yet. As long as I'm not working in the morning. I guess if I'm the afternoon, wouldn't be a problem either. We might. Let's see if we can do a Monday. What happened at Game Awards on PlayStation Experience podcast or something. I'll try to keep tabs on that, but I know I've got to work at night, and then I'll be busy all day on Sunday probably. But
Joel
try to
McHale
watch most of it.
Joel McHale looked like he wanted to kill himself for 3 hours again.
Oh God, is he the host again?
I doubt it. He can't. He couldn't be. I don't think.
I hope to God he's not. He has to have learned something from last year about. Okay, it can't be 3 hours, and you sure as hell can't have a guy that looks like he does not care to be there doing it either.
Honestly, I would have like Mark Hamill do it. Just screw it. Why not?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, why not? Mark Hamill, does this stuff with video games quite a lot. I mean, I'm sure he'd be. I don't know that he would want to stand there and do that for that long, but you could have him and somebody else do it. I mean, it wouldn't be too bad. Well, Nintendo has once again announced, or not that they've announced, but they have done quite a few different things here since last time we had a podcast. They're going to have Mario Kart 8 on Disney XD called Clash of the Karts, where they're going to have 8 young gamers compete alongside YouTube personalities, including Andre the Black Nerd, Atomic Mari, Strawberry 17, and Seth Bling in Mario Kart 8 competitions.
I can't wait to see XXX Vegeta Smoke Dog 420 destroy all these little kids in Mario Kart 8.
I know, right? They're gonna wind up rigging that thing so one of the kids can win or something. I don't see how that's gonna go down well with like parents or kids are gonna be watching that going, well, why do they have these younger kids against these older kids? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
What's with this PewDiePie, and why does he look like a pedophile?
Yeah, that's also on Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern on Disney XD. If you're... Shh. Why can't you ask for Skittles before I start this recording?
She knows.
Because it's a 4-year-old and, she doesn't know any better. They're up there? Okay. So what did you think about, apparently there's this Italian company, Moschino, that's making a fashion line with Mario because of the 30-year anniversary.
They're trying to hone in on the black silk leggings craze, it looks like. But companies, look at Assassin's Creed or Ubisoft with their clothing line. I mean, this isn't exactly new anymore.
No, it's not, but Assassin's Creed's a little bit more subtle. It kind of works as far as a clothing line somewhat. Like Mario's just a bunch of... I mean, I guess it's okay because at least here in the United States, all you see now is all the 80s trend of loud colors coming back. And it's a bit weird, honestly. Sometimes, and the worst thing is the kids think that it's totally new. And I'm like, yeah, I wasn't even born yet, or I was around, but I couldn't conceive what this was, and that was out there. Stop thinking you're the innovators of whatever it was. But you know what? Nintendo, they said they were going to get free with their licenses or whatever, and they're certainly doing it. Just, God, how many things have we said that Nintendo's doing now? The theme park, the clothes, this thing with the TV shows. I mean, God, I'm still waiting for that Netflix series that that was rumored, and
that Zelda thing.
yeah, or something.
I'd be more interested in the Metroid series,
That would be great if they could do it.
especially with the success of Jessica Jones. They could do that pretty well.
I mean, Netflix likes to invest in the cartoons. They could bring back the Mario cartoon if they want. Yeah, too.
No, they couldn't because Captain Lou's passed away.
Well, I mean, the concept at least.
They should bring back Captain N. That's a series that could work now.
Yeah. Oh God. It seems like ages ago now. Jeez, that would be awesome if they did, but probably not. Probably not. So Nintendo finally admits that they don't know. That they realize that people are basically buying amiibos as collector's items because they don't have a reason for you to buy it as an interactive item with the software. We haven't really established them as an enhancement for all of our software at this point. As such, Nintendo will look to find new ways of incorporating amiibo that will more effectively enhance one's gameplay experience.
How about a game that uses amiibos only?
Yeah, that's exactly
Skylanders?
I just don't... I understand why they don't want to do it. I get that they do not like being the last one to the party on things. And that's,
They're the last one by choice, though. I mean, it's not like LEGO Dimensions came out this year. Amiibos came out last year.
Right, yeah, and they could have had their own Amiibo game plus have the Amiibo functionality with all the other games. I mean, I think it's cool that, like I said, I have a Pikachu, but that's the only one I have because it's just I realized after putting it in Smash Brothers, it's really, I don't want to level up this character that I really can't play with at all. It's just him being my partner in a game or something, and it's not the same thing.
Arguably, the only good feature Amiibos have right now is from Mario Maker. That's with the costumes, and that's it. And they don't really do anything, except for the one Amiibo, the one retro Mario Amiibo that makes you big.
Yeah, well, and then the Yoshi Woolly World does basically the same thing. It changes the color of the Yoshi to that Amiibo.
Yeah, but it's that's nothing.
Yeah.
Why even have it at that point?
Right, at least let him have, let Yoshi, have some of the powers or something of that character or something like that. It just doesn't make any sense. It's a cosmetic thing. I get it. I get that they don't want to make people feel like you have to buy. I guess at first they wanted people to make people feel like it's an optional thing, that you can have it if you want to have it. But now that people are buying these things in droves, you want people to actually have reasons to play them in the game. You're gonna get even more people wanting them. I mean, look, whatever works. But there's so many of them now that if you don't come up with reasons to use them in the game, it's going to become to a point where they're going to sit on shelves more likely than not, just because eventually it's going to come to the point where, okay, well, I'm just sitting here looking at these things, they don't do anything.
Yeah, my friend Heather, I think when Black Friday came out, or was that day, she ran to Target to get the Animal Crossing amiibos or the Yoshi Woolly World one, and it's she got them, and it's all right, they're sitting on a shelf, and that's it.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, I thought about it with the Yoshi's Woolly World one when I was at GameStop the other day, and I was like, man, this is cute. I'm gonna like looking at it. My kid's probably gonna sit there and want to play with it, and that's great. But they don't do anything. For one, I'm not gonna have the game, and number two, like it's sitting there. So that's so weird though that Nintendo has just now come out and wanted to say, oh hey, we realized that we don't have a way for you to really use them in the games. Like that should have been something they said, so long ago. But in that same interview with Time, the president and CEO Tatsumi Kimishima said that the NX will not be the next version of the Wii or the Wii U. It's going to be something completely new and unique.
It'll be the new version of 3DS.
Basically. It's they don't have a way to explain it right now, but it's definitely new hardware. They don't want to run into the same problem that they had with the Wii or the Wii U, where it was like, well, why are we needing to switch to this new system?
Maybe they shouldn't call it the Wii U then the Wii U.
Exactly.
Calling it a different name to not suggest to not like denote the other one probably would have helped.
Yeah, but I remember the whole thing. They said they were going to change everybody's video game life or whatever.
Yeah, that worked out well.
With this NX thing, so let's see.
It'll be the Virtual Boy 2.
Oh God.
It'll be black, red, and now blue, but still no green.
Do you think they could possibly do something like that? I mean, if it's let's say it's not the thing that we've talked about, and a lot of other people have said that it might be, and they have patents that kind of say it might be, which is basically a set-top box that has a controller and then lets you take it with you kind of thing. What if it is a VR thing? With all this stuff about VR and all these people making VR things, you think Nintendo might go in that direction again?
No, I think they probably got too burned on the Virtual Boy, and even though it was 20 years ago and the hardware can like now do it correctly, more or less, I don't think there's no way in hell they do that. Well,
they did once again. This 2016 year is coming around again. There's so many people that want to dispute this year that's been reported a bunch of times, and we're talking about being a month away technically from 2016. This Taiwan news outlet, the DigiTimes, that reports on hardware stuff for like computers and whatever, says that Nintendo wants to ship 20 million NX units by the end of 2016, but they're probably only going to be able to ship between 10 and 12 because of demand. To me, I keep hearing this number, and I keep saying it's going to get really hard to dispute that thing's not coming out next year.
Well,
and I don't see why not at this point.
There's two things. First off, I don't think they quite said if it was like calendar 2016 or fiscal, because fiscal 2016 would be 2017.
Right, it'd be like March of 2017.
The other problem is I just don't see like Nintendo selling that many consoles like that quickly. Even if it came out January 1st, 2016, trying to hit like 20 million consoles or even 10 million, that'd be pretty hard.
Yeah, haven't they only sold like 10 million now of the Wii U?
I don't think it's that low, but it's really low compared to even the Wii.
Well, yeah, but everything's slow compared to the Wii.
Well, no, the Wii U is 10.73 million.
Yeah.
That's it. The Wii was 100 million.
Right. And that's what they're hoping without the Wii name and all this kind of stuff, and it's something new that people would just be lining up at the door wanting to buy these things. They'll forget about the Wii U and just, we're going to buy this.
The Wii U is the lowest selling console they've ever made, except for the Virtual Boy, obviously.
Right.
So good going, Nintendo.
Well, I mean, I think the whole they want to be done with this Wii U cycle. I don't blame them if they do.
Oh yeah.
And if it's so different, you can still have both the systems out there. There's something that's if it's really supposed to be so different that you're not gonna be able to do backwards compatibility between the Wii U and the NX, and I think it's them going back to that three pillar thing again with. Okay, we're gonna have the NX, we're gonna have the Wii U, we're gonna have the 3DS. Well, if the NX is not basically another 3DS,
No, because
and what?
no, that third pillar thing. I know that didn't work out though.
I know it
Because
didn't, but that was also including two different kinds of portable systems. I think it can still work if you're talking about two consoles. And yeah, the Wii U didn't sell that well, and it is what it is, but they could still make gains for the Wii U, and then you make gains for the NX, you make gains for the 3DS or for the mobile, whatever that pillar is. And you have it all there for you. I mean, I have a feeling that's what they're doing, because if they don't want to make sure that the Wii U is backward compatible with the NX, they just want you to forget that thing existed and you move on. Speaking of, though, it was the highest selling item on Target.com for Black Friday, and in Target in general, apparently. So, it's apparently Target. You go and you get a Wii U, and people just thought that was the greatest thing ever. I don't know why, just this one store, but okay.
yeah,
Go Nintendo for, I guess, getting the store to go with them on that. But apparently, everywhere else, though, it was the PS4 that won Black Friday. Especially at Best Buy, where over 250,000 receipts were captured on mobile devices by InfoScout, showing that people were buying PS4s, with the Uncharted bundle being the best-selling thing for the system. And that on Black Friday, by a total of 15%, millennials were thinking more about the PlayStation than the Xbox, and way more, about almost 30% more than Nintendo. And on an average day, PlayStation and Xbox apparently are thought of the same. I don't know how they figure out these numbers. This is so weird to me. But apparently middle-aged people were thinking about the Xbox more. So, I don't know. I don't know what that means. To me, I wonder if the middle-aged thing is because they might have been around when the original Xbox was around. And they remember all the games that came out for it, and then they still had 360s, and so they're still thinking about the Xbox One or whatever. But, the millennials are all about right now, and so all they have in their mind is PlayStation 4, I guess. I don't know. What do you have any thought on that at all?
no, probably just brand name or recognition, like you said, or what they grew up with, kind of. But I mean, I guess the only thing is the older people might like the whole TV integration that the Xbox has, but it seems like a pretty bad reason to get it.
Does it mean anything for the Xbox One that you basically, more people are talking about, one store was all about the Wii U and then everybody else is talking about the PS4, or is it just basically the PS4 is what's been selling, so it's going to keep selling?
That one.
Last year, Xbox One was what took Black Friday and all that.
Probably that second option. Yeah, I just don't hear a lot of buzz about the Xbox One, and they have their few they have a better lineup, first party lineup of games, but almost pound for pound, the PS4 is better than the Xbox One with third party games.
Right.
There are a few exceptions, but Just Cause 3 runs better on it, more or less. Fallout 4 certainly does. So that might be one of the reasons.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think it's not something that it's not something I think that most people will know about just from whether it runs better or not, but I think just from, reading reviews and
Word of mouth.
all the
Yeah.
word people telling you, hey, get the PS4, it's better, all this, you don't, like you said, the only time you heard anything about the Xbox One was when they were trying to make it an entertainment system, and then when that just completely flopped, oh well, all you heard is the bad stuff about it with the how they had to change everything and all that stuff too. And that's the thing too. You can only when both companies now have the same price again, because that was the thing with last year was
Yeah.
last
Xbox
year
was cheaper.
Xbox was cheaper, so and then last year they also had, I think they had the Master Chief Collection. They had the stuff with Assassin's Creed being included, Sunset Overdrive, I think some indie games, whatever. But it's still kind of the same right now. All you have is Halo 5, Tomb Raider for,
A few months.
until the next holiday season, and then everything else is third party.
Yeah.
So I mean, you have things like Ori and the Blind Forest, whatever. But you kind of have to know that game's out there. It's not going to be advertised anywhere. So I don't know.
I can't see many people rushing to buy Ori and the Blind Forest.
Right, I can't. No, plus, I mean, you already have to have the system to buy it. So unless you have get it on PC. Sorry, I have to tell people what I'm doing until they stop calling me on my phone.
It's amazing how addicted people are to their phones.
Oh, I mean, it's your source of everything. I think I use mine as my radio, so I don't at work. I can just after a certain period of time, I can put my headphone in, just have podcasts in the playlist, and I don't have to look at it, unless.
See, I carry around an old iPod for that.
Yeah, but see, I don't like. I only had an iPod once, and that thing got lost, and then somebody stole my other MP3 player, and.
At present, I have two iPods, an 80 gigabyte 5th gen from 6 years ago, and a 60 gigabyte 5th gen from the same era.
Ah. Fair enough.
And they work well.
I wanted to get that huge one at one point. I don't remember. I think it was like a 360 gigs or something like that.
I have something called the Arcos PMP Personal Media Player. It runs Android on it. An old version of Android is 1.6. But it has a 500 gigabyte hard drive.
Wow.
It's pretty awesome.
And you can carry it around with you?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's pretty big. I mean, comparatively bigger than an iPod or something, but it has a mechanical hard drive in it, so what do you expect?
Ah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. So, have you went and downloaded Gauntlet Slayer Edition yet for your PS Plus?
I added it to my library, and that's about it, because I'll never play that game ever.
I'll definitely check out the King's Quest Chapter 1, though, since King's Quest Chapter 2 is about to come out. That's talking about PS Plus, the free games. Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon and SSX are out there for PS3. I got those this morning. That way I can have it on something besides my computer. And Freedom Wars is one of the best Vita games out there for PS Vita, so I definitely would recommend anybody, if you're thinking about getting a Vita and you have PS Plus, I would go download that and have it. Or if you have a Vita, go download that, because again, it's one of the best Vita games out there. And Rocket Bird's Hard-Boiled Chicken, whatever that is.
It's a dual joystick shooter / platformer. It's not good.
Okay, that's all I need to hear. So, we heard Mark, I think last time, talking about the Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing. Well, the first one is now available for Xbox One for free.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, I went and got it. I don't think I'm going to wind up playing it.
You should no, you should try it. You should actually try it because I'd be curious what you think of like for the first hour or so when you start getting chains formed by enemies.
I think I played I don't remember if I wound up just going straight to the second one. I don't remember which one I played on PC, but I liked it alright. It wasn't anything special. And then Thief is there from the middle of the month until the middle of January, which, why do they have to constantly keep putting bad games on these things? I'll never know. The 360 is getting Castle Storm, which Xbox One got Castle Storm for a while. Sacred 3 and Operation Flashpoint, Dragon Rising.
All winners.
Yeah, all winners. So, yeah, for sure. You can go research those and check them out yourself if you think that, they're worth putting on your system, or hey, they're free. The worst thing you can, you can always just press that download button and just cancel it, and you still have it anyway in your download history. So, I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. So, I mean, we already all that. So the PS4 apparently has surpassed 30 million units sold. Take that, everybody that keeps saying that consoles are dying. It's doing just fine.
Meanwhile, Microsoft isn't even reporting their numbers anymore, so that should tell you something else.
That should tell you all you need to know. They don't want to report their numbers. They want to report Xbox Live usage, which, okay.
I wonder if that number would include 360 or not.
I would hope it doesn't.
No, I would think it would, because that's a way for them to goose up their numbers. If they said, like, oh, we have 25 million people on Xbox Live right now, they could, but then the asterisk would be, well, only 10 of those million were on Xbox One and 15 were on Xbox 360.
Wow. I mean, if they're doing that, that's pretty sad, honestly.
I'm not saying they are, but I could see them doing that. That's the thing.
Well, I mean, how are you not? They could get away with it. Who's going to sit there and say that they are or they're not?
Yeah.
Only Microsoft really has those numbers. So they did open the 7th core for PS4 developers, very much like what we heard from the Xbox One a long time ago when they started doing away with wanting to make the Kinect important.
Hey, man, the Kinect is still important.
I mean, this is cool. I don't know how much it's really going to be able to do. It's not going to be able to do anything for the games that are out there unless they do updates. It's really just for games that haven't come out yet to make them look a little bit better. I mean,
the 7th core is the emulation core, so now they can emulate all the games.
That would be nice. And Sony has officially come out and said, after they had this big deal about this guy that was going to charge $10 to allow you to do PS4 PC streaming unofficially, Sony has come out and they're going to make it official that there's PC remote play pretty soon. So
that's cool. I don't see a use for it that much, but I hope the PS4 drivers for controllers get better.
Why do you say that?
Because that DS4 program, I mean, it works, but it's not great.
Yeah, I mean, it does have some kinks to it, for sure.
Yeah.
What? Oh. I mean, it has, like, you have to have that window open. Sometimes it just stops working randomly. I have to, like, pair it over and over sometimes.
Yeah, I never got Bluetooth to work reliably with that thing. It ran, like, once, and that was it.
I hate it because sometimes I'll have to, like, completely restart my computer in order for it to show up, have the PS4 controller show up and actually pair to it. And it's just really annoying, and it's, I mean, I understand the point of why you have to unpair it and pair it, and then when you put it back in the PS4, you have to connect it and have it redo it again, but it's just, I wish they would come up with a way to where it just instantly recognizes it and you don't have to do the whole process again, because that's so annoying. Should just be able to, like, click your thing on, you play your game, and that's it, But like you said, the way that they have it, it's really not supposed to be there. So the way that they have it work is better than it not working at all. Um, there's so this big old thing about Dead or Alive Extreme 3. It's coming out, but it's not coming to the West, and people being upset about the fact it's not coming to the West, and then there's people that are complaining about the whole how the women are used and all that stuff, and I was just like, have you ever thought about that's why they might not be releasing it here in the West, so that they don't have to go through that crap again, with people complaining that women have advanced, women shouldn't be used like this in video games anymore, and blah, 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 and it's just like, this is a Japanese developer making a Japanese game, it does, and I can't imagine they sell that well here anyway. I mean, like,
No, the last one bombed pretty bad.
They were literally trying to give away Last Round. Like, they were finding ways to put it in deals constantly, from what I remember, and they were delaying it all the time, and so I can't imagine this Extreme 3 is going to sell any better, where it's not fighting, it's the women playing volleyball. And
also, the ultimate thing is if you're a fan of that series, go out and buy the Asian copy. Like, the consoles are region free now.
Yeah,
go
exactly.
for it. Like, if you want it, spend $50 to play Asia, and they'll get it out to you. Like,
right.
that's how I got Puyo Puyo Tetris for my PS4, because and it's never going to come to America because it can't. So
Exactly.
go for it. Like, if you want it, spend your money. And
I mean, to be fair, we have seen people make an outcry so bad that they wind up having them, do a translation for it over here and all that, but they seem pretty adamant that they do not want to release it here. They're like, it's never releasing here ever. And then the guy that comes and tries to tell tries to like calm down the people on Facebook, he's like, it's still only supposed to come out in Japan and Asia only. So he really didn't, do anything other than be a little bit more nice about it. So yeah. So are you excited about a Shadow Complex PC port?
yes, I want that damn game finally.
That was yeah. That was original Xbox.
No, that was 360.
Yeah, okay.
It came out in 2008, I want to say, maybe 2009. Yeah, it's a good game that should be on more things, and they should have made a sequel by now. They should have made a few sequels by now.
Why didn't they?
Well, it's because Cher, the developer, got bought by Epic, and they also made
okay.
those. The big thing is they also made those Infinity Blade games.
Right, yeah.
And those sold a little more than Shadow Complex ever did.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they're up to like 3 or 4 at this point.
Yeah. But it's just depressing that I never played Infinity Blade that much. I played it like once or twice, and it was fine. But I mean, Shadow Complex is still such a well-revered game.
Right, yeah, it is.
And either Chair or Epic just doesn't get it. Like, if they wanted to say, okay, we just want to kickstart it, people would probably pay for it. That'd be depressing if they said that, but they still would get it.
Yeah, I mean, they just, on Indiegogo, but they just helped this game from the Skullgirls devs get made for $1.5 million, which is like a platformer and an RPG and whatever, a bunch of things in one. It looked kind of cool.
Well, let's look at that. Oh, sorry.
It's called Indivisible. So you can check out a trailer that they have for it.
Look at that Bloodstained game from a few months ago. Like, that didn't that clear $8 or $9 million?
Yeah, Shenmue, that thing cleared a bunch of money. Just if you want the Pillars of Eternity, if you want the thing made, even the Divinity, the second game already got its made
Yeah.
its goal and all that. So I mean, if you want the game, you put it on there, and people, if you make it interesting enough, and you put out a trailer that makes it look good, people will pay. You know, it's just
The bummer about Shadow Complex, one of the things that was a knock against it was associated with Orson Scott Card.
which why is that bad again?
He's a pretty noted like homophobe.
Oh, okay.
Like he wrote a book associated with the game,
What?
but he didn't write the game. Another dude wrote it who was very like homosexual and like bisexual friendly. So it's like people were idiots.
Yeah, but see, that's all that it takes is for somebody to have their name on a book about something, and they go, "Oh, well, you know."
I was having to argue with my old colleague Liana about it, and she's like, "Well, I didn't want to play Shadow Complex because Orson Scott Card wrote it," and I'm like, "No, he didn't. Peter David wrote it, and he won a GLAAD award, so I'm pretty sure the gays are okay with him for right now."
Right. Even though they did have Billy and Chuck win a GLAAD award, and you know what happened with that. So, but hey, apparently Platinum Games is making a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. All we know about it is that it's called TMNT Mutants in Manhattan, and Activision is the publisher, obviously. It's rated M right now.
That's pretty cool. I'm quasi interested in it. Like that Transformers game was too much money, but it got pretty decent reviews.
Yeah, I agree. And Platinum's usually, I mean, they've been solid with everything they've been making lately. So,
Except for one thing.
yeah.
But they
But
are it's like making good games. They're like 9 out of 10. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt.
right, yeah. I mean, you got Bayonetta. You know, Scalebound still hasn't come out, but for all intents and purposes, that looks like it's gonna be a good game. You know, the Transformers game. Uh, you know, so the Killer 7 series, all that. So you know,
Vanquish is cool.
even Mad World for the Wii was actually pretty good. So
Wasn't Killer 7 Capcom?
oh, that's right, that was them. I thought they developed it though.
No, it's probably
Capcom might have been the publisher, but
no, it's the guys who like split off from Capcom. That
yeah,
was
but I
also
thought they had. Well, those guys were still there when that game was being made. I think it was after that game or something they split.
let's see.
Well, maybe I'm confusing it with something.
Killer 7 came out a year before Platinum was around.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So those guys probably had something to do with Killer 7 or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. They themselves, the company, doesn't have anything to do with it. But yeah, I mean, to me, like, what do you think they could really do with TMNT? That do you just want to see? Like, I kind of want to see like a Batman TMNT game, sort of. Just
Yeah. No, it'll just be Metal Gear Solid 5, but it'll just have Leonardo instead of Snake.
yeah, I mean, I think it definitely has the world for it, you know, to be a little bit dark and serious or whatever. You can still have some of the comedy, but it doesn't have to be a beat 'em up. It doesn't have to be, you know, it can have some story to it and everything. So
I question how crazy that game could be, actually. Like, if they focus kind of on the cartoon, like the Nickelodeon cartoon they do now, or
mhm.
if they go like the comic. The comic, if you ever read the comic, it's insane.
Well, that's why comics can be awesome, because they can just go totally off the script for that
Like,
if they
if
want.
one of the things I read was Donatello got shrunk to like he's an inch tall, and he built a robot to control that's humanoid sized. And I think Raphael became a vampire,
Wow.
and the Shredder's an alien. And it's like, this is all crazy. No wonder none of the cartoons or comic or movies ever touch this.
Yeah, because it's all nuts. Like, who's gonna? Yeah, you can't have that in that cartoon. You drive kids crazy. Not to mention, I don't think there's gonna be too many parents who are gonna be too excited about that, honestly. Um, so Peter Moore responded to GameStop about their whole Battlefront underperforming. According to him, Battlefront is still on course to hit the 13 million copies by the end of March 2016. Especially with the movie coming out in a couple weeks, they're expecting that thing to shoot up a lot. So he's kind of like, I don't understand what GameStop's talking about, but certainly not on our end. We're not seeing that. So does that prove again that it's just when people are buying digitally, they're not just because EA has all the numbers, whereas GameStop's only seeing when people walk in the store and buy it.
Yeah,
You
that's
know?
probably most of it. But also, I just don't think that game is gonna. I mean, it may hit 13 million eventually, but it's not going to be like a hit like a Call of Duty will be.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's also like we already talked about it. Like it's a bare bones game. They want you to pay that $60 because that's where, I mean, even though they said that there's going to be free stuff that's coming,
Is one of that
which
free stuff going to be a story, a single player? What? No, not
probably not,
interested.
unless you pre-order the game,
It's a
so
problem that Titanfall had and Evolve had. It's like people want like, granted, like in Call of Duty, the multiplayer part is by far the more popular aspect of that game, but people still like playing a story.
right. I mean, and Rainbow Six is probably going to have that problem, even though I've heard the gameplay is actually really good. It's just they have it all locked away. They have a lot of the officers or whatever all locked away, and there's no single player other than like some training missions that you do, and so I can imagine that game will also suffer that problem.
Yeah,
You know,
which is a bummer because the previous like Rainbow Six games had decent stories.
yeah. I don't know why they couldn't make another Rainbow Six Vegas or
Yeah,
just
those
any
were
of
awesome
those.
games.
Even the little slice that they showed with the even though that was supposed to be multiplayer focused too, they could have added story into that with the whole where they went to the people's houses and all that.
Yeah,
Just I don't know. They changed it, and then look, I think it's still going to be a successful game, but I imagine that it won't be as successful as it could have been. Have you really? I mean, we've all seen this. Like all of them now. Titanfall's saying they're going to come out with a single player. Evolve's already said they are. It's shown that at least for the console market, this multiplayer only game just doesn't work. Uh, or it's not as successful as the games that we come to know. That you have that single because for one it makes the game feel like you're only getting part of a game, and that's what it feels like to me when I see stuff like that. I'm just like, well, okay. A lot of people don't have time to just go find their friends or whatever and get on that and say, okay, well, I'm gonna play with my friend for 3 hours and play this game. That's why you have the single player, so you can get good at the game, and then you can go on multiplayer and play randoms and do all that. Plus Rainbow Six, I can't imagine with the way the game is made that it's gonna do that well with you playing with randoms because you can go and stab your friend in the back or whatever really easily, or that's what they made it seem like.
yeah.
uh, so the creator of the Earthbound series says that Mother 4, at least from his end, is impossible. Um, he says that, he kind of equates it to, well, I already made, you know, it doesn't matter if I make a 4, 5, or whatever, people are still going to be wanting stuff from 1, 2, and 3, and it's not my job. If it was my job, I would have already made 4, 5, and 6, or however many Earthbounds. So, is it up to Nintendo then to
Well,
make
Mother
more.
3 never came out here, so I don't think they're going to make a Mother 4 anytime soon.
Well, they're gonna have Earthbound 3 come out in I think the Japanese
Yeah, but not in
Virtual
America.
Console. They might eventually. They had it number 1 come here. So I mean, I think it's gonna come faster than it would have had we never seen 1.
I
I mean,
think
because
people
why are
have
you gonna introduce 1? You have 2. You're not gonna introduce the other one ever.
a very weird affection for that series that I only can imagine is related to Super Smash Brothers.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's the point. Like, you have Lucas there, and you're never going to get to play his game unless you get the Japanese version or you have a Japanese Wii U. That's crazy. Like, I don't know. I don't know how you can have that character in Smash Brothers, but yet you don't have a way to play his game at all. That's kind of silly to me. I mean, like, all the other characters, you have games you can play with them and stuff, but not him. They finally had the release date, which is next week for Lightning Final Fantasy 13 for the PC. So that will finally conclude all 3 Final Fantasy 13 games on the PC. Dragon Quest Heroes came out today on the PC on Steam. So
I might be getting a review code for that one.
nice. You excited?
I'm cautiously curious. I've never played a Dragon Quest game, let's say that.
Well, that's isn't that the, like, Dynasty Warriors Dragon Quest game?
That was like an action RPG.
I think that might have been the one. It's one of the. I think it's the one that has the weird name. The weird subtitle name. That's the one that has, like, the Dynasty Warriors type.
Okay.
It has, like, that really long one. I don't forgot what it's called, but.
No, this isn't that then. This is called Dragon Quest Heroes Slime Edition.
Okay, yeah, no, this is the action RPG. That's right. So Fox has become the first of the major networks that's no longer reporting their overnight ratings. How big of a deal is this?
I mean,
For
little,
the
I guess.
Nielsen people,
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think it's going to change much.
Well,
like, you're not going to, like, a show. I don't think a show would be saved by, like, oh, well, it got good DVR ratings, but because people skip over ads, and that's what people kind of watch, or I mean, that's what Fox wants people to watch.
right, that's what the advertisers want people to watch. I don't know that it saves shows. I think you're going to see all the networks eventually go this route. And then when all the networks go that route, you might see it where it maybe saves a show here or there. It's not going to all of a sudden be where you never have any new shows the next season because all of them get saved by DVR because there's still shows nobody watches.
Like Minority Report.
Yeah, like Minority Report. So you can expect that's. My kid had to decide to throw my dog's toy in here, so he's deciding that he's going to come get it very slowly. Yeah, I mean, this is good. I think it's all needs to go away from the Nielsen rating because it's so antiquated and it's only such a small portion of the audience that you have now, where you can get a bigger chunk of the audience now with DVR and all that stuff than what you used to be able to do.
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg says that no one will replace Harrison Ford. They are not going to be recasting him. Even for Indiana Jones 5, which won't come out till 2018. Is this really smart, honestly? I mean...
Well, is Harrison Ford going to run away from the boulder in a wheelchair?
I don't know, but yeah, I mean it's nice to see that they're not trying to just continue the series or whatever. I would hope that, I guess this means that we're done with Indiana Jones if you're or you're gonna have to reboot it when Harrison
Young.
Ford's done.
They can bring back that young Indiana Jones TV show.
Nah, or bring back a Shia LaBeouf. He'll do it. He's not doing anything else right now.
Yeah. Boy, his star faded, didn't it?
Oh God, yeah, man. Whew. He was for a while. He was like in everything. Transformers, Indiana Jones. He was in that rear view or rear window remake, and then like all of a sudden, bam, he's gone.
Same with Megan Fox, ironically.
Yep. Ironically, yeah, exactly. So they're gonna have a Toy Story documentary that's gonna air next week. Next week on Thursday at 8 to 9 Central on ABC. Basically, they're gonna have a bunch of interviews with all the people involved with Toy Story. It's called Toy Story at 20, and then they're gonna show Toy Story 1, I think, after it or something.
I want there to not be Toy Story 4.
I agree that doesn't need to be a Toy Story 4, but it's not a continuation. I guess it's supposed to be a romantic comedy. So
I'm still good.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you that I'm still good too. But
like they didn't do Wall-E 2. It's because that movie.
But they're somehow they're gonna find a way to do it because that's all they're doing now. Is every other one is a remake, which it is what it is. I guess Disney had to have their hand in it somewhere. I appreciate that we still got Good Dinosaur and Inside Out between this year, so that's good at least.
Who doesn't like a Land Before Time remake?
It's true, but I still need to watch it. I've heard it's pretty good. So there's gonna be a Lost in Space TV series remake. Not that I ever saw the 1960 version, so I never
saw
seen
that
the
movie.
Movies.
I saw that one. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, that movie is. It's so funny. It's bad. It's like one of those. It's like so bad. It's funny movies. Yeah. But hey, at least we can be redeemed with a Chronicles of Riddick fictional universe that's going to get made by Vin Diesel's new TV company that he's making. There's going to be a spin-off of Fast and the Furious. Good God, that thing just won't die. And there's going to be some kind of series on Chronicles of Riddick. Are you excited about that, or
is anyone?
I don't know. There's people that like that series a lot.
I like that first game. That was about it.
That first game was pretty awesome. Yeah, totally agree with you on that.
But it's like, you keep wanting to make like Riddick like to be this like, important character, and it's like, no, it's you talking gravelly and killing aliens. Like that's fine enough. It's not.
Yeah,
like,
it's
Christ,
not.
Man.
Yeah, it's not going to be this hit thing that I think he wants it to be. So I don't understand what his deal is, but more power to him. He wants to make that series a thing. I guess try what you can, but I don't see it going anywhere.
No. Not at all.
Would agree. Hold on,
You gotta start watching Doctor Who again.
Yes, I do need to start watching Doctor Who again. Now that I'm done with the holidays, I can start getting back in my groove of doing things. So, are you, so we're both going to be watching this Game Awards thing. How long do you think they learn at all, from anything from last year, and it's better than last year somehow, or?
I have hope, but also, I doubt it. It'd be nice, but they'll probably fix some mistakes, but then they'll make new ones along the way.
Right. Hold on. I think that's pretty much it as far as like big. Other than Felicia Day and Patton Oswalt are both going to be part of the Mystery Science Theater cast now that they made their initial goal. I don't think they made the 5.5 million, but I think they made it enough to make 6 episodes. So I like both of them. So it should be interesting. I don't know that I'm going to watch the show, but
Yeah, I like both of them too, but neither one of them are like, I guess like Oswald's a bigger star, but neither one of them are like, you know, big reasons to watch anything.
I mean, but this is more for like the geek,
Yeah, but that's also just kind of pandering to an extent.
right? And they're pandering, but I mean, at least they're trying, They want to get people to actually want to watch it. So I mean, that's their goal. If they can get enough people watching it, they can maybe get, make it credible for more episodes or whatever. As far as games, if you have a Wii U, Xenoblade Chronicles X comes out tomorrow or Friday. And then there's Dementium Remaster for the 3DS, which is a mature-themed first-person shooter survival horror game. I don't know if it's going to be good or not, but it's there. And the Pokemon Picross for the 3DS, which is free to start anyway. I already downloaded it. I have to figure out whether I have to start playing it. All those free Pokemon games are actually pretty decent. So, and for some reason, Trauma Team's getting made for the Wii U. I didn't even know that was happening, but
It's probably just a port.
yeah, probably for it. And then Terraria is finally coming to the 3DS next week. SteamWorld Heist that they've been like promoting for like ever, it seems, which is a turn-based strategy game, and that Among the Sleep is finally coming to PS4, and this Baseball Riot game, which is a sequel to the Tennis in the Face game. So, and that the one cool game that another like these cool indies that's being made for the Wii U, that Fast Racing Neo, which is like an indie version of the of F-Zero. So that
Yeah.
one should be interesting, hopefully. But yeah, I mean, I think after this week, I mean, that's pretty much it as far as like big games, and we'll be doing our Talk About Game of the Year awards already. God, it just doesn't seem like it's been a whole year. Do you like? Hasn't it seemed like it just went by so much faster?
No, but people also really forget about the games that came out like earlier this year. Like I
Yeah,
forgot
like I wonder if Dying Light's gonna be on anybody's list at this point.
or like Batman.
Yeah,
Like
people
that
keep
came
talking
out
about.
this year. It's like
Yeah, it
whoa.
was still good on console. So let's see what the votes are when we get them. With so many of those games coming out October on. But all right, that's it for this week's edition. Hopefully we'll go back to being weekly. Like I said, we're gonna try and see if we can do a Monday show, kind of wrapping up the whole Game Awards and the PlayStation Experience show, and then I guess we'll have to start talking about our thoughts on the whole Game of the Years and everything. But anything? What did you write this week?
I think top 8 open world games. Or yeah, that was it. And as usual, people didn't like my choices, to which I said, "Oh well."
Of course, that's how it always happens. People just, hey, talk about dog slumber with the dog somewhere else. What the hell? Why did they change this? Okay, this is really confusing. That wasn't me, so never mind. Yeah, so for me, the top 5 is going to be top 5 sandbox games. And then 4PC went up this morning, so that's up there that you can read as well. Hopefully, Mark will help out with a list. And
I can just copy the one I have now.
yeah, basically.
It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, sort of. And then, yeah, I think that's it as far as, I mean, you have your StarCraft 2 review that should be up there.
Yeah,
Point.
tomorrow probably. I'm probably not going to finish it tonight.
And then, I don't know, Randall usually does like a blog for the Game Awards. I don't know if he's doing that this year or not. Well, now that he writes for that site, he's probably going to do it over there. So.
Turncoat.
Hey, if I'm getting paid for it, I'm turning too. But yeah, I mean, hey, you know, hopefully it's not too bad, and we can certainly enjoy it more than poke fun of it. But we shall see. All right. Well, until next week, we enjoy your games, and we shall see you later.
Later.
All right.